We are the Labour Party. We believe in Ireland, our home. It's inside us. It's the metal that binds us together. For over 100 years, we've been building a fairer Ireland, always believing in our people, in our republic, and all the things that make life worthwhile. Bread for all, and roses too. Step by step, piece by piece, Le Chéile, Ireland has become a fairer country. But our republic is unfinished, and real change is still needed. The pandemic stripped things bare, living through the worst of times, brought out the best in us. Now, we're at a crossroads, and there can be no going back. The change we need won't happen by chance. Change is always a choice. The choice is this: more of the same, or a fresh start for all our people.
Well, in Ireland today, there are so many people who need a New Deal. Those who are suffering disadvantage, who are experiencing inequality, who are experiencing poverty. But actually, we all need a New Deal to make a fairer, more equal and more just society.
We know that it was our public servants and our public services that got us through the worst of this pandemic. And this should tell us that what we need now is greater investment in our public services to make sure that Ireland can become the country we know it can be.
There's systemic inequality here that's affecting many groups. We need to close the gap in this country. And a New Deal for workers, for people with disabilities, for older people, for people on the housing list, for people looking to buy a home, for people looking for security to rent a home. That's who Labour want to work for.
I suppose what gets me out of bed in the morning is looking at those people whose society has failed. This country has failed, and we have to do better as a society.
Childcare, education, our hospital system, these are things that can only be solved with public investment. And the reality that you can't live in a low-tax economy and expect excellent public services.
I want to see a New Deal for renters, so they have secure, affordable housing, and we recognise that this is the situation that people are living in at the moment, and I want to see renters' rights come really onto the agenda.
If you look around, you will see in many of the estates that we have, there is a derelict house or a vacated house. That needs to be turned into a social house, it needs to be developed into an affordable house, and it needs to be done now.
I think the pandemic has had a huge impact on young people, from their mental health and their sense of well-being to how they feel respected and involved in their community and society. And I think, to be honest, if we don't get to grips with how we treat young people, how we respect young people, and what future we see for young people in this country, Ireland's going to be no country for young people.
To be a socialist is to be an environmentalist. We understand that this is not an argument for the rich, this is an argument for everybody. And just like all the lessons we learned in COVID, that unless we protect everybody, we protect nobody.
A New Deal for me would look like fair structures on public transport that would be competitive. We need to get people out of their cars and onto buses and onto trains.
I've huge issues in relation to how people can't get access to healthcare. I've huge issues when I see people of my generation and younger not being able to buy a house. I have huge issues when I see so many people contacting me this year that they can't afford to go to third level. I have huge issues with childcare. I believe we should nationalise childcare services. These are real issues for me. I believe we need to offer the same services to everybody, not based on means, but based on need, and giving all children and everybody an equal chance in life. That's what motivates me.
We believe in an Ireland that values care, climate, work and housing, where everyone is treated with respect, with dignity, with understanding. It's time for a New Deal for a fairer, kinder, more caring Ireland. Together, we can make it happen.
We need a New Deal for Ireland, on housing, on climate, on care and for workers.
I believe in an Ireland that invests in all our people, puts an end to disadvantage, and puts equality of opportunity at its heart.
A society that invests in our future, an Ireland that works.
Come join with the Labour Party, our party, my party, and let's get to work on a New Deal for Ireland.